The courts, the internet, and most likely poor Fat Joe's blood pressure have all been rocked by what happened on stage. So ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. Imagine this. Unbeaten in the ring and seemingly unbeaten at grabbing husbands, Claressa Shields takes a mick at a crowded event and declares Papoose to be her man. Remy Ma rapped about loyalty in front of cameras, fans, and the ghosts of every bar she ever visited, not as a buddy or trainer, but as hers, her man. Then the internet crashed. But hold on, things get worse. A disturbing audio file slips online just hours after this widely shared mic drop occurrence. Shaky, damaged, and unmistakably Remy Ma's. An emotive voice whispers words that sound like a farewell. Goodbye. Perhaps the last one. Fans are now divided, the streets are buzzing, and one question is illuminating every timeline. Did Remy Ma just get broken by Claressa Shields? We're talking about more than simply a scandal if this leak is what people believe it to be. We're discussing sadness so unfiltered that it turned into proof. This goes beyond simple treachery. This is more than simply a mess. Drama like this usually ends in handcuffs or headlines. And the story hasn't even begun yet, darling. The entire internet is in shock at what happened in the midst of a boxing ring. Ladies and gentlemen, please buckle up and no, belts or fists have nothing to do with this. This was about hearts, treachery, and a single highly visible statement that made an already broken woman a worldwide news story. Imagine being on trial, your marriage on life support, and your reputation in ruins, when all of a sudden the woman your husband has been training with calls him her man, steps on stage, and kisses the camera. That isn't a bad soap opera plot twist, that's what occurred. The two-time Olympic gold medalist and self-described GW, Liv Claressa Shields, did more than just win her match last night. She grabbed something more than a belt. Remy Ma was left staring into a legal abyss with only a tissue and a quivering lip after she publicly stole Papoose. Let's go back. Insiders near Remy's camp spotted something odd earlier this week, which sparked the ruckus. Claressa is shown being a bit too in love with Papoose in a practice video that was leaked during the weigh-in, although we have witnessed hand pats, clinches, and post-fight hugs between athletes and trainers. This is not the norm. Not an embrace in which his hands linger. Not the kind where he smiles like a middle school kid who has a crush on her when she murmurs something. It wasn't training in HD. That was emotional adultery. However, it was more than simply the intimacy that ignited the internet. That's what took place on stage. Claressa Shields took the microphone shortly after her victory, looked straight into the audience, and declared, "I didn't just win this fight. I beat the man I've been fighting for." She then blew a kiss to the camera while sporting a pea necklace. Remy Ma, meanwhile, was watching the live video while she was already drowning. In court proceedings surrounding her son's murder case, staff in the courtroom reported that Remy's face turned pale. According to one person, who claimed to be a junior clerk, she sagged as if her soul had departed the room. "Tell him I'm done," she murmured, according to another witness, and the rail bomb dropped. On the dark web, an audio tape reportedly taken on Remy Ma's private burner phone surfaced. It lasted just 17 seconds, but that was enough to cause alarm. A voice sobs in a tape that is unsteady and mixed with static. "He was what was left of me. I am no longer able to do this. Please pardon me." While we do not claim that it is a suicide note, Twitter certainly is. Hashtag prayer for me became popular in a matter of minutes. Old interviews in which she hailed Papoose as her first date were unearthed by fans. The timeline is chilling. The contradictions were discovered, along with the distance in their final photos. The tense podcast appearances, where she made fun of him for being too soft, and the times she appeared irritated on red carpets, and now the world is wondering, was Remy Ma really blindsided? Or was this karma? Papoose shared a mysterious anecdote a few weeks ago. Loyalty is uncommon. Being left alone is preferable to being deceived, just vibes. No locations or tags, we now understand why. Claressa then entered the picture with pictures taken during their workouts, which now seem more like retreats for couples after tonight. Nobody is mistakenly thinking that iron is anything other than tension and possibly a few hotel keys, despite her posting gym photos with phrases like "iron sharpens iron," and real ones know. Let's get back to the ring. Claressa Shields exited the arena with Papoose in tow after she made her proclamation. Hand in hand, they were seen giggling in the parking garage by the photographers once more. Only vibes, no guilt or remorse. Remy Ma, meanwhile, was being tearfully led out of the courthouse across the city. Nobody is aware of her whereabouts. A brief statement was released by her team. At this moment, Remy is asking for privacy. Just silence, no argument, no denial. Furthermore, that quiet is more powerful than any diss track. According to many close to the Bronx rapper, this was the ultimate betrayal. Because if you go back far enough in time, Remy Ma did defend Claressa once. She stated in an interview from 2021 that Claressa is one of the realest girls in the game. If I weren't a rapper, I'd be a boxer like her. Perhaps she ought to have been, as what Claressa delivered tonight wasn't just a right hook. Remy's soul took a knockout blow. At this point, the situation shifts from theatrical to genuinely unsettling. Experts are already examining the released audio. The crying, according to one vocal profiler, is consistent with Remy's previous voice notes, 95% of the time. Others are advising followers not to speculate and demanding mental health support. But social media excels at speculating. People are breaking down the sound by creating TikToks. Was she by herself? Was she captured on camera? Was this a setup? Or did this belong to Remy Ma? Scream for assistance after seeing her marriage fall apart in front of millions of people. And Papoose says nothing in the online argument. It was the same chain Claressa was wearing, but it wasn't a post or tweet. Fans now think she snatched it directly from his dresser. There is more to the scandal than a romantic triangle. It's the breakdown of a pair that was once viewed as hip-hop's ride-or-die royalty. The breakdown of public perception and the shattering of loyalty myths. What comes next, though? Let's discuss what no one wants to publicly acknowledge. What if everyone had anticipated this slow-motion automobile catastrophe rather than a surprise betrayal? First, let's talk about the burner messages that were leaked and appeared 6 hours after the audio. The witness reel, a shadow account, shared for screenshots purportedly taken from Remy Ma's second phone. You could feel the heat. Without 4K. But the screenshots were not clear. One displayed a draft message, "You think this is love?" which said, "No, you're just her project now. And just as you ruin me, I pray it wrecks you." The timestamps don't deceive, yet that communication was never sent. Just 14 minutes before the purported recording of the final farewell audio, it was typed. Another picture displayed Papoose's missed call with a message, "This is not what we're doing here. On that stage, you made your decision, this is," where the temperature drops even further. Claressa Shields shared a photo dump on her private Instagram story that same evening. A man with a very identifiable face tattoo was visible in the reflection of one of those hazy mirror selfies. Yes, Papoose without a shirt. The caption reads, "Fight celebration kiss." In the background, "This is not going to happen." Upwards, the internet broke down these receipts, frame by frame. Filters, zooms, and even lip-writing analyses of quiet videos. Detectives on TikTok are working overtime. And Remy Ma's quiet becomes more audible as the world examines pixels. Let's now discuss the courtroom elephant. The following day, Remy Ma appeared at her murder trial in all black, without makeup and with obvious shaking. She almost passed out during introductory remarks, according to sources. Even a 5-minute respite had to be called by the court. She was described as a woman unraveling by one on-scene reporter. This is where things go south, though. According to a courtroom audio technician, yes, the one who keeps an eye on the microphones, Remy was heard talking to her lawyer in a hallway. "I don't care about this trial anymore. He's gone. She took every single item." What? She is more distraught over a husband that was stolen, and she is on trial for the death of her own son. The internet is judging, but we're not. Side-by-side collages are now being posted on fan pages. On one side are vintage videos of Remy Ma and Papoose on the red carpet at the BET Awards, and even in that widely shared documentary on Black Love. The other shows Claressa and Papoose at a Waffle House, laughing while wearing matching sweatshirts. The contrast hurt, not to mention the voicemail leak from the burner. A second voice memo appeared on Reddit just one day after the last farewell recording. The subreddit flew into a frenzy when a male voice, purportedly Papoose, said, "This was never supposed to happen like this. She wasn't supposed to see it." Comments were locked by mods. There were rumors of legal threats, but the harm was done. Did Claressa intentionally do this? That is the question now. Did she know just when to attack and purposefully take advantage of a man who was grieving? Let's take a step back. Claressa Shields has always been known for her carefree attitude, which lies behind her athletic success. Do you recall what she tweeted during the trial of Gervonta Davis? "When true women stand tall, men fold quickly." Supporters believed it had to do with boxing. They are unsure now. People are now deciphering cryptic statements from Claressa's previous interviews. She once stated, "If a man shows up for me, I'll show up for him publicly." Wow, she wasn't lying. However, how could Remy have missed this? According to insiders, Remy Ma and Claressa Shields were at odds for several months. According to a stylist who has worked with both ladies, Claressa once appeared for a fitting that Remy had scheduled and pretended to be the owner. Remy, allegedly, said, "Let her wear the fake crown" as he left the meeting in the middle. Apparently, the tension didn't remain behind the scenes. According to several behind-the-scenes rumors from the female rap scene, Claressa was becoming overly at ease in Remy's company. Rumors circulated of late-night sparring sessions that ended without any boxing. Midnight massage gun therapy, showers at gyms with lockable doors, the dots can be connected. The betrayal that sealed the coffin followed 2 weeks ago, and Uber receipt was leaked, the truck, the home address of Remy and Papoose, the departure. Claire's private Atlanta residence. It is to 47A MMP is the passenger's name. The legal name of Mackie Papoose. Is it a coincidence? Please. Now what? Claressa's status as a side chick who became a mainstay has caused the world to turn against her persona, but some are referring to her as a queen because she took what was rightfully hers. Additionally, Remy Ma has emerged as a current tragic meme, with a choral montage flashing over the screen and a melancholy violin accompaniment. 1. Popular TikTok features a clip of her from Love and Hip Hop screaming, "I went to jail for you." Absolutely. Yes, it is inevitable because loyalty dies first in this industry. Celebrities are also weighing in. Fat Joe made a mysterious post. "A link is broken. You purchase a consequence." Nicki Minaj liked a tweet that read, "Papoose really downgraded, the shade is unmatched." But the fallout isn't over. Cardi B simply tweeted, "Damn, not like this." Rumor has it that Remy Ma's legal team is preparing a psychological distress motion in court, which if granted, could delay her trial due to emotional compromise. And guess who's listed in the filing? Papoose and Claressa Shields. Yes, the love triangle has just turned into a legal entanglement. From boxing rings to courtroom dramas to mental health crises. And all of this is happening in real time. Let's go back to just 1 hour before the leaked audio went viral. According to an anonymous hospital insider, yes, a private security alert was issued by someone working inside the very facility where Remy Ma was taken after her courtroom collapse, because of a mental health red flag raised by an incoming patient of celebrity status who had allegedly taken prescription medications inappropriately. Sounds ambiguous, that's intentional. However, this insider claims Remy was discovered unconscious in her holding suite restroom minutes after court recess. What happened between the judge's bench and that locked bathroom? That's where the audio allegedly comes from. The file ominously named last note underscore or mm1.mp3 circulated among industry insiders and encrypted group chats before making its way to Reddit. The voice was slurred and emotional but unmistakably Remy Ma. "I tried to keep my family. I tried to stand tall. But she took everything and now he just watches while I drown. Tell Jasmine I'm sorry for what she's about to see." Hold up. Remy's estranged daughter, Jasmine Dior, who has already made headlines for her emotional courtroom outbursts and a previous restraining order attempt, was reportedly in the building when this occurred. According to multiple reports, she hurried to her mother's side after hearing the commotion outside the restroom. And guess who arrived just half an hour later? Papoose. However, it wasn't the reunion you were hoping for. The story took a dark turn when Jasmine physically blocked Papoose from entering Remy's hospital room. According to one nurse, Jasmine screamed, "You let her fall apart. You left her. You and your little boxer girlfriend can rot." Security was called and things escalated. Papoose allegedly left the building without saying anything. This wasn't just heartbreak. It was an emotional implosion that was witnessed by half the courthouse. It turns out that Remy Ma is being placed under a 72-hour psychiatric evaluation hold. Yes, you read that right. The same woman on trial for her son's death is now under suicide watch. The document cites unexpected medical trauma as the trigger. Or, to put it another way, Papoose tipping for Claressa as a trigger. The DA has reportedly asked for access to the leaked audio as part of the official record, which means that her farewell could be used as evidence in her trial, and possibly in a new mental health evaluation for criminal liability. And if you think this can't get any worse, wait, guess who has gone radio silent? Claressa Shields since the kiss on stage moment. Not a single appearance, photo, or tweet. Her PR team posted a press-scheduled advertisement for a fitness product, but fans aren't buying it. "This isn't a win. But Remy isn't perfect," she said loudly until someone broke. A purported confrontation between Claressa and Jasmine is currently in the works. According to insiders, Jasmine is prepared to talk in public and isn't holding back. Jasmine allegedly makes the following statement in a voicemail that mysteriously made its way to TMZ. "I don't care what my mother did in that house. What are y'all doing to her now? It's murder with lipstick." The video hasn't been released yet, most likely because of legal concerns, but it's all mine. And fans are pleading with Jasmine to share it in its entirety. According to several bloggers, Claressa's team contacted gossip websites to get images of her and Papoose in compromising situations taken down. A cease and desist order was even displayed by one blogger asking that Claressa's thighs and caption be blurred out. This fabricates a story about intimacy. That's too late, sis. And now there's another twist, the witness list has changed. Yes, you heard correctly. According to reports, Papoose's name has been struck from the official witness list for Remy Ma's case, according to the rumors. Either he declined to testify or Remy's team removed him from the list completely out of animosity. In any case, this is a significant change since, as you may recall, Papoose was supposed to testify on Remy's behalf and assert that she wasn't cognitively present when her kid passed away. Her charge might have been dropped from murder to manslaughter. As a result of that testimony, that choice is no longer viable, apparently. Remy Ma's determination to battle is the same, according to sources. She has turned away guests inside. Even her music accounts have gone silent, and her legal team has ceased responding to press questions. Her profile still has one eerie tweet pinned to it. The world never remembers your intentions, it just remembers your blunders. The irony? That tweet was sent out a year ago, prior to the start of the trial. What comes next? We should set up the battleground. The trial has been paused, but far from finished, unbelievably. A mother-daughter bond broke. The public destruction of a hip-hop power duo, an up-and-coming boxing champion turned antagonist, and an industry divided between shame, shenanigans, and sympathy. How does Papoose fare? He moved out of the house he shared with Remy Ma, according to sources. Yes, exactly, allegedly. He is lodging at an unidentified airbase close to Claressa's training facility. His wedding band has not been spotted on him, and the statement was immediately followed with a dubious new verse on a freestyle. Occasionally, kings get afloat and queens become anchors. It's being torn apart by fans. It is referred to as poetry. Some claim it's a mixtape disguised as pure damage control. However, one thing is evident. Celebrity drama isn't all that this is. This is a story. Broadcasted implosion that was fueled by burner accounts, TikToks, iPhones, and direct messages. In HD, it's heartbreaking, and in the midst of it all, a lady who made her reputation on tenacity is now lying in a hospital bed mute. Additionally, she might never be able to complete her story in her own words if the court finds that the leaked recording is authentic. How did we end up here? That is the only question that remains. While one woman who previously stood strong in the rap game is now drowning in silence, another enjoys the limelight with her guy in public, with pride and without apology. Strength bars and battles are what made Remy Ma famous. But when betrayal doesn't just show up at your door, even the strongest people fall apart. In your living room, it records a reality show. Something about this entire story feels certain. From courtroom murmurs to leaked letters to this eerie audio, did Remy use this as a farewell? Is it an appeal for assistance or a direct message to Papoose's heart? Not to be overlooked is Claressa Shields, who is no longer merely entering the ring. She is unapologetically entering Remy's life. We're passing the microphone to you now. Do you believe that Papoose and Claressa are going too far? Or did he leave Remy Ma long before Claressa became involved? Could we have avoided this whole collapse? Or was it written as soon as pride and performance entangled love? If this story made you clutch your pearls, hit the like button. If you want to receive the next audio leak before TMZ does, subscribe. And since this story is far from over, leave a comment with your most outrageous theory. Not by any means.